All right, great. Okay, let me brief you all. So today we are here to incubate and identify four co-founders for Dharti, which is a contract farming startup. Two co-founders for Belgadi, which is AgriPad Logistics. That means AgriPad is the overall integrated startup that we have incubated, and there are 6 startups in it.
Mm-hmm.
All other startups are already incubated. That means the team is full. There are 3 vacancies, in fact 3 startups that has requirements. One is Nisarg, which is a cosmetics, herbal and organic cosmetics. Only one person is required there, and that too from hills. That means either from Uttarakhand or from Himachal. The reason is very simple. We want to establish the company in hills so that we get the benefits of the location, as well as we get the benefits of production units there. Lot of cosmetic manufacturing is there already. So we are looking for only one person from Himachal and Uttarakhand for Nisarg, 2 people for Belgadi, which is the agriculture logistics, and 4 for Dharti. Rest other startups are completely packed. Let me also tell you other startups. These are Prakriti, which is farm to fork supply of fruits and vegetables. Shakti, which is packed and processed foods with focus on organic and chemical free food supply. And then we have one more called Kisan Shiksha, that is for vernacular training of farmers and a community of farmers, so that farmers can ask basic questions like they can click the photograph of maybe disformation in the plants. They can click and send it into the community and find out what is this. So experts can say, or maybe other farmers can tell them that this is a kind of disease because of this kind of reason. That is also full. We are having requirements in, first of all, Dharti, then Belgadi 2, and Nisarg only 1. And I'll be happy to take up all your questions one by one so that all your queries are answered. And in fact, anybody has any confusion about or doubt about how this thing works can also ask me question, but we have to finish it within stipulated time of 20 minutes from now, because I have an international call at sharp 4:45. So I have to exit by that time. So open to you all. Please ask your questions and I'll try to answer quickly.
Hello, I'm Dr. Nitin Nagrale. I'm from Bombay. Can you hear me?
Yes, doctor.
Okay,
Loud and
well,
clear.
yeah, all right. So I have been in the industry for over 25 years, and in fact, we were about to invest in a startup for papaya farming in Noida, somewhere around that side of UP. So when I saw this, I found this to be an interesting proposition, and hence I am here. In fact, I head an association called Hospitality Purchasing Managers Forum, wherein there are over 3,600 organizations who are buyers. I am the president of that.
Amazing. Wow.
So, and we have presence not just in India, but 48 countries. And we have launched chapters in Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Middle East. So I would love to know more about this so that I can contribute. I'll be more interested in Dharti, as well as I heard about farm to fork, but then you also mentioned that it's over. But I think I can really add a lot of value in both. Over to you.
Okay, Dr. Nagrale, let me tell you, this project is dedicated to nation, and this is a long cherished dream that I had, and it almost 15 years. I saw a lot of poor people sleeping without the food. I saw a lot of poor people just having one roti with with onion. So that was, I always wanted to do something. And on the other side, I saw a lot of people in restaurants wasting the food. You
Right.
go to a 5-star restaurant, you ask for half dal fry or half or anything, half paneer. They will not. They will
Correct.
not serve you.
Correct.
So I was thinking, being a lawyer, I always thought, I'm also an MBA, so I have been into business. I'm a technology guy, developing since 20 years. So I was thinking of lot of things, lot of permutation combinations. How
Yeah.
can I stop this? And then I thought, if I individually fight, and I've seen a lot of people who
Mm.
were fighting against the system individually, they
Yeah.
are gone out. Nobody knows them. Where are they? Right.
Mm. Right.
So I thought there has to be an NGO, but how will this NGO get money?
Mm.
That is most important thing. So
Right.
NGO can file a suit, go to High Court, and file a PIL asking, to create a law wherein no restaurant should be allowed, or restaurant must be forced to provide half of the quantities if asked, so that they don't waste food.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But in that case, you need to have some money for that. Charity cannot happen without money.
Correct.
So this entire model I've thought with my team, and this model has NGO at the top.
Mm.
Along with that, there are commercial companies which are scalable, which has equity, which are which can raise funds.
Mm.
Everything normal. They can hit the IPO. They can go to stock market. Everything is same. And I thought of one solution where is one brand,
Mm.
right? There is a concept of super brands, or if you talk about Patanjali is a brand,
Yeah.
right? So if you make one brand over the top and everybody start using that brand in the Patanjali or Amul model,
Yeah.
then small players can also make huge amount of money. They can utilize the benefits of that particular brand. So we created AgriPad as a brand, and that is a foundation. AgriPad is a foundation. We identified 10 people from all the entire incubated startups, and more people can also join definitely.
Correct.
And they got through voting, they get nominated, and they became the part of AgriPad Core Foundation. Now
Yeah.
Core Foundation will drive this in the social objective. Their vision is to reduce food wastage, to ensure that every human being in India at least gets a chemical free food.
Sure.
Then the vision is to ensure every human being in India gets the food at affordable price. And if there is the food which is not fit for human consumption,
Yeah.
that should go to animals. That also should not be wasted. And if it is not even fit for animal consumption, then it should become manure, right?
Yeah.
Because there is a hell lot of process that you have to do to produce food, right? This is not in our hands. Only God can produce food. So this production should not go waste. That
Correct.
is the main vision. And for that, we need to have efficient logistics, efficient storage, efficient supply, direct connect with the consumer. Lot of technology work has to be there. So we created this entire system wherein 6 startups are starting initially.
Mm.
Then 7th startup will be, so all, the teams will be completed after this call.
Ah.
Uh, then there is one more startup lined up for herbal leather, and lot of other startups are
Yeah.
lined up to join AgriPad. So we are trying to make plant-based leather, because fashion is the most polluting industry, and out of which leather takes a lot of big time space. So for Ganga River's pollution, leather industry set up in Kanpur is one of the major reasons. We
Correct.
want to come up with solutions which can have a breathable leather. You can use it for shoes. You can, and animals, they are killing the environment
Uh-huh.
because they take more oxygen, more resources basically of the nature. So
Correct.
we are coming up with these kind of innovative solutions to solve the problems here in India through common people, underline, through common people. Without the support of the government, people like you, me, and others, we are
Sure.
getting together, putting in small amount of money to start with, and then Startup Lanes has 2 angel networks. So Startup Lanes angel networks has committed 50 lakh for each startup, and that is sufficient amount to start, and then we can arrange $1 million of VC funding. So that will be a good start. Initially, people will invest 25,000, 30,000, maybe up to 1 lakh, and make these companies running. Startup Lanes has made the entire process smooth. All you have to do is put up your foot forward, commit for it. Commitment fees is just 5,000, which is not our fees. We are not charging even a single rupee. We are putting in funds from our side, in fact, and we will form a company. All the legal expenses will be covered through this money.
Correct.
Once the team is formed, we have a democratic process of team selection. That means members select the members. Startup Lanes does not. So each other people will be selected. Everyone will select each other, and that is how then they take the roles, and then the company is initiated. Anybody who is voted out, Startup Lanes is still there. Once you are a part of the family, you are not going anywhere. We will be giving you any other incubation. Suppose you are not part of, you committed for Dharti, but the team voted you out. Then you can become part of the herbal leather that we are building up. Maybe if that does not kick off, we'll give you some other, because we have to constantly experiment. Nobody knows. We might be able to get success in creating the herbal leather, we might not be. So if that fails, we have something else. Lot of incubations are coming. You need not pay any commitment fee again. We will internally move you, and God forbid if any of the startup fails, then we will also move you to any other startup which is successful.
Okay.
So out of, say, suppose we are incubating 30 startups, then don't worry, your career is not at a toss. Maybe if 1 or 2 startup fails, which is obvious because we are experimenting, then we will move you to any other startup internally, efficiently and effectively. So here I leave to all of you for the questions. You can ask me the question.
Wish, so my question is regarding Dharti platform. So basically, as I've read, it's mostly the base of Dharti would be contractual farming with the farmers and then selling the produce, right? The base is that. So
Right.
So as you can see in the existing scenario, there's a lot of volatility that has been introduced by the government, by the policy. So how are we planning to actually set up this network? Is it through some app based or a brick and mortar kind of platform? Like, how are we doing that?
Right. So first, let me understand, explain you how this is going to work and why it is needed. So suppose take an example of a tomato ketchup company that comes to India. They might require a special kind of tomatoes for their ketchup. Okay. Or maybe like McDonald's requires special kind of potatoes. So this tomato ketchup company will approach Dharti because they cannot approach the farmers directly. Farmers are not reliable. They are not approachable. Dharti will do it on their behalf. 2 benefits: consistent quality. Second is fixing the price. What if tomato becomes 3 times the price, maybe in December, right? So you cannot change your MRP. You have to maintain a steady cost, right? So that is why contract farming is required by big good corporates. All the restaurant, all the manufacturing companies in food, they require contract farming, and a lot of packing companies. So these companies, juices and all, they will require a lot of contract farming to stabilize their prices and have a consistent quality. So Dharti will connect with the farmers and will pay some advance to the farmers, keep some money, and if it is required, Dharti will tie up with Kisan Shiksha, which is a part of AgriPad itself, so that farmer learns the new technologies and techniques as required for the crop production required by the contract farming organization that has given the order. If required, organic seeds or whatever kind of seeds have to be procured, Dharti will procure and sell. If required any kind of equipment, Dharti will procure and lease out these equipment. If required any kind of organic manure or any kind of consultancy, Dharti will arrange for that in the farms to the farmer without any hassle. So that is the major value. The problem being solved here is bridging the gap between corporates and the farmers. That is knowledge gap, financial gap, and the order gap. so that this demand and supply is bridged by Dharti.
Right. And
Hi, Shishir.
yeah,
Thank you. Uh, this is Nagendra.
Yeah, Nagendra.
Uh, I'm a mechanical engineer and an MBA from KJ Somaya, Mumbai. And
Okay.
I have 10 years of experience into procurement and supply chain management.
Okay.
And I also worked in a agri commodity trading company in Ghana. I've been in Ghana for around a year. So
Okay.
that's my experience in brief. So my question here is, so uh, I like dirty concept, particularly contract farming. So I just like to know what would be the kind of commercial viability and how the business model works and what is the growth potential uh, in contract farming.
Okay.
That is good.
Suppose suppose you get X amount of contract for tomatoes. I am using the tomato example, and the corporate asks you to procure the tomato at rate of 14 rupees per kg, 1 4. Okay. You go to the farmer and say, I will pay you 11 rupees per kg. You don't have to sell, and this new bill is supporting that. New bill is supporting farmers can sell to what whomsoever party they can. So that is in our favor. We are doing the right thing at the right time. You can approach the farmer and say, I will pay you 11 rupees per kg, and you have to grow say 10,000 kgs of tomatoes for me. And you go to n number of farmers, give them advance, give them the training, give them the seeds. From procuring and selling the seed, you make money. You make money by training. You make money by leasing the equipment. You make money by selling the manure. You make money by consultancy, and you also make money through the surplus goods. Whatever surplus is available after, because if you ask for 10,000 kgs, farmer will grow maybe 15,000 kg, right? Some surplus. This surplus you can sell off to Prakriti, another startup in AgriPad. They will buy it from you, and automatically you make hell lot of money there, because here the pricing will be 2 times, 3 times, giving you 300% or 200% profit. But we will recommend that phenomenal profit should be avoided, because the purpose is to have a social cause fulfilled, and whatever surplus is available we should subsidize it and give it to the poor. But there is no hard and fast rule. This is dependent upon the team's decision. This is just a recommendation from the AgriPet side, so that the vision is fulfilled. The basic vision is to support India. No farmer should go, commit suicide. Farmers should have good education for their children. They should have good facilities in their farming areas, rural areas, hospitals, movie hall, whatever is required. And educated people, not just educated, corporate IT employees working in Infosys, TCS, they should be attracted towards rural areas. So we should have high speed internet, so that tomorrow, if a corporate employee has to move to these rural areas, they should get, they can work from home there. So all these, this is a big project, large project, and all these startups, Dharti, Prakriti, Belgadi, Kisan Shiksha, Nisar, all these and Shakti, these startups are supporting it, and these are commercial startups. Obviously, we expect these startups to become have at least 1,000 crore of valuation in a span of 3 years. This is what our expectation is, and we will do everything to make it possible, because just like China, for controlling to now the time is to control everything through financial resources. If you have to do a social work, you need to have more money. So this will scale up. This is the future. This is the need of the hour. Agriculture is the backbone of the country. Plus, that is a business which will never ever stop in the world, despite of any kind of crisis. The demand will always be there.
Thanks, Shirish. I got the answer. Just one quick question. So, considering the fact that many of us would be working somewhere in another company, right? So, how much time do we need to spend in our roles, and like how exactly we need to coordinate and work for this cause? So, what's the plan for that?
Uh, Okay, so I got muted because somebody was calling me on phone, but what I've understood, let me tell you. So I hope you are asking if somebody wants to work part time, because full time you're working for a company for full time income and all. We have two models. One is a full time, another is a part timer model. Full timers get upfront equity. They can also invest into the startup initially and bootstrap the startup. Part timers, and there is a difference of full timer and part timer. Full timer is at least 4 hours per day of contribution, dedicated contribution. Part timer is someone who's not able to dedicate 4 hours and cannot invest, say, a small amount of 25,000 to 1 lakh rupees. Then that part timer can join, and team will decide their salary, not startup lanes. The team of that particular startup will decide the salary, and in lieu of the salary, equity will be accumulated. That is called a ESOP plan, and at the end of the year they will get the equity converted. Or if the funding comes up, external funding, which is a sustainable funding, say more than 1 crore, then they can start receiving monetary salaries in terms of cash. Okay, we have 6 more minutes. I have another call, so let's
I
quickly. Abhas,
Hi
a
Shishir,
question.
this side Abhash Srivastava. I am from logistics background, having worked with international operations in FedEx and in domestic for TVS Supply Chain and Gati. So I am interested in the project Belgadi. If you can please let know about it. Is it a aggregation model? How we are planning for it?
Aggregation, 100% asset light. All the startups in startup lane incubations are asset light. We understand. See, we if it is a asset heavy organization, any kind of model, we avoid it. So we don't want. All the vehicles will not be owned. All the vehicles will be aggregated. Plus, we want to start the branded logistics in agriculture. There is no branded logistics in agriculture as per our research. Maybe a case we must have excluded some companies, but what we want to do is today, if you want to ask, get some order directly for a wedding functions from, say, farm in Nashik, you cannot get it through an organization, a transport organization like that. It's very difficult. But we want to create a branded, that means brand will be written with a banner on the truck itself. This truck will go make the payment on your behalf, get the order safely, and do all the police verifications and whatever is required, and safely deliver the material directly. So it's a kind of just like movers and packers happen. We want to create a very hassle-free service for B2B and B2C both, for Horeca as well as for the end user, both. Okay, Nikhil, you have a question. Nikhil, you have a question? Okay, next, anybody else?
Hi, Shishir.
Yeah,
This is
hi,
Yash.
this is Ajay.
Okay, one at a time.
Hello.
Yeah, Sundar first, then Ajay.
Okay.
Sure, sure. So this is going to be a short question. So I come from a mechanical background. I did my master's from Rochester, New York, and so we were looking into, once the agricultural bill was passed, so we were trying to actually come up with a similar concept. And me and one of my friend who's also planning to be a co-founder, so we're actually trying to come up with a similar concept. And I've already submitted the pitch deck. To the email address I was provided. So my question is going to be, so what is going to be the next step? Like, how exactly are we going to decide the 4 co-founders for this incubated startup?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, how exactly? Yeah. So what is going to be the next step, and on what basis are we going to decide on the 4 co-founders? And or is there anything that is required from our
Right,
side
right,
for
right,
that is
right,
going to
right.
help you?
Yeah, I had a similar question.
Very nice question, and definitely I wanted to ask this,
Yeah,
answer
and I
this.
was also wanting to know like what is expected from the co-founders actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Startup lanes, you will be amazed to know that Startup lanes is a zero rejection organization. We don't select anyone, not even for acceleration, not for our incubation. For anything, we have 5,000 startups with us. We are present in 56 cities, 15 countries, 15. We have never done any kind of selection at our end. So we are just facilitators. First come, first serve basis. People who commit for the startup by paying 5,000 rupees as a commitment, they will be taken in straight to the team. In case they are out in the voting, like I told you earlier, The voting happens after that, and entire team, new and existing team, will vote for each person. And if somebody is out of the team, they will be taken into any other startup. That is what the process is. Expectations, because we believe every human is important and brings in some kind of value. So if we keep on looking for, fulfilling all the expectations, it will be never be happening, right? You will never. Human expectations are endless, and this is not a job. So whomsoever is available, we create the companies. The roles are divided accordingly. So far, it has been very, very successful. Our initial startups, we started everything in July. I'm talking about the incubations part. Startup Lane started in 2016 January, right? So those two initial startups that incubated, Startup Lanes incubated in July, already are making revenues good. So this model is working. uh, Random people meet each other, they collaborate, they become co-founders, and it's going very well. Might be a case one or two people midway, they are not able to continue because of conflict of interest, or they don't like, or whatever the case may be. We make them join any other startup. That is also okay, right? So it is like a family. We are there for you, and lot of experimentation work is going on. To be honest, you can all understand, there is no ready set plan for everything. We have to create all the plans once you join the team, on the basis of new changes, just like this bill has passed. On the basis of those changes coming up, all the strategies are defined. Best part is that all of you will be having AgriPad Foundation to support this foundation, and everybody will be a member of AgriPad, whomsoever joins the incubated startups. And there is one meeting at least in a week for all the members of the AgriPad, so that there is a harmony between all the startups and all the members. Okay, and that takes me to the end of the time. I can try to take one more question if anything is very important, and then we'll close it.
So Shishir, you said the selection would be based on the voting. So on what basis this voting is done?
You have to tell about yourself, what value you bring on the table, why, what is your passion, why do you want to do this startup, why do you want to become co-founder, and others listen to it, because you might not have a skill for that. Like I tell you, Desi browser we incubated recently, the last incubation was that, and one of the person was from testing background, and we selected him, but this was requiring coding entirely. In the team selection, he said, no, I don't know coding at all, but I can learn. And do you know, within 15 days we are ready with the 100% Indian browser called Desi browser. We have the 0.5 version right now. It's ready, so we can do the alpha testing and launch it within 15 days, right? So within 15 days everything got ready, and the person
And the
contributed a lot. All right, so I think all the questions have been answered, and people who are interested can uh, take the details of payments, payment details from Kajal, and uh, and that's it. I think you can put the screenshots in the WhatsApp group itself. Kajal will note it down and verify from the account. It's on first come first serve basis. In case anybody is left out or not able to make the payment, let Kajal know, because there would be time limit. It is on first come first serve basis, and let's see. We'll take you in any other incubation in case you are very much interested and you are not able to make it, because positions are limited. And stay in touch. Thank you so much. Thanks for
thanks,
joining
Shishir.
in.
Thank you very much. This is a
Thank,
Thanks,
lovely
Shishir,
thank
for
you,
the
sir.
opportunity.
info.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be sharing this recordings with other members if they want to. Kajal, please download the recording after this.
Sure, sir.
Bye all. Bye bye.
Thank you, Shishir. Thank you, Kajal. Bye, bye.
Thank you, Shishir. Thank you, Kajal.
Thanks. Bye.